All in all, though, it's not a bad idea. It's just, number one, it's a crazy concept. And number two, it is a lot. And I mean a lot to take in. I mean, guys, we're talking about a 70-team Super League. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great Wednesday. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, I hope you're ready for some interesting college football news. Because guess what? We got it, partner, and let's just say this is going to stir up a lot of controversy in the comment section. I can already see it. This is an ongoing and developing story. A new 70-school college football league is already being talked about. I'm going to say that one more time. A 70-school college football league is being talked about. Your favorite team/school is more than likely included on this list and chart, so you might want to see where they're at. To go along with that in this video, we have another topic that goes hand in hand with the NCAA, and that is no other than they're just getting rid of the NLI. Not the NIL, but the NLI. If you don't know what NLI stands for, it's National Letter of Intent, and that's some big time news. Signing your National Letter of Intent was a big deal because that's what made it official, but now they're just taking that away. And you want to take a guess at why they're taking it away? Ironically enough, it has to do with the NIL. We have a lot to talk about. This is by far, in my humble opinion, one of the most fascinating videos we've made on the channel within the past couple of weeks. And now that I'm thinking about it, it may be the most fascinating video we've made all year long. You already know the drill. Strap in, buck up, get you a snack, get you a popcorn, get your favorite meal you like to eat when you watch a video. Because trust me, I do the same thing. But all right, man, blah, 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 shut the crap up. Now, further ado, let's get into it. Alright, first things first, I want to start the video by saying this. My prayers and thoughts are going out to all my South Floridians. What's about to happen to y'all, it's horrific, to say the least, and I'm wishing you best of luck. With that being said as well, we got a comment on one of the recent videos, on yesterday's video, matter of fact, that I'd like to share with you guys. My grandma and I have watched your videos every weekend for the last year and a half, and it has really opened her up to college football. She was recently diagnosed with brain cancer and suffered a stroke during surgery to remove the tumor, but despite that, she continues to ask me to come visit her so we can catch up on the videos. I truly believe that you are helping her and I get through this tough situation. I hope you don't mind me sharing this comment with our community, because I understand that can be a touchy situation, but to your grandma, if she's somehow someway seeing this video, just keep fighting, keep pushing, and I want you to know we're all rooting for you. Ironically enough, me and my grandmother had a very unique relationship with college football as well. We always loved gathering together on Sundays after the game on Saturday and talking about it and what happened. And a lot of times I would have to explain to her why certain things happen in the game and just stuff like that. But getting back on track here, I can't thank you enough for those kind words, and I'm beyond grateful that you support the channel and you enjoy the channel and enjoy the videos, because hey, as much as I like making the videos, it doesn't amount to a hill of beans if you guys don't enjoy them as well. Like I said, hope things get better there, but we're going to move on to the first topic of today's video. What in the world is the NCAA doing? So check this out. The NCAA, as you can see right here, is eliminating the National Letter of Intent. Instead of having the National Letter of Intent, financial aid and scholarship agreements are expected to be used. So in other terms, it's different, but it's still the same. And actually, I'm scrolling through the comments right here. This is the best picture and meme to describe the situation. I already read this article, so you don't have to, and you can thank your boy Matt, because I'm going to sum this up and dumb it down. In other terms, instead of the National Letter of Intent, you're signing an agreement that has to involve with financial aid and the NIL. So theoretically speaking, these universities are going to have custom contracts for certain players, because if you have, let's just say, Florida promising you $1 million, they may throw in that contract, okay, if you don't finish out the entire season, instead of giving you $1 million, we only give you $300,000, something like that. That's all that's happening here. It's not really, I'd say, big news. It's not as big as what we're about to get into. But just like this comment says right here, we are one more step closer to the NCAA dissolving. And another reason, too, I'm not even trying to hype this up, is because the National Letter of Intent was irrelevant in the first place, and I think that's the main reason they're getting rid of it. A little FYI here, even after you sign your National Letter of Intent, you're not locked in on going to that school. You can break it. I think there was always this weird misconception that as soon as you sign the National Letter of Intent, oh yeah, you gotta go to that school, but you don't. I would tell you this much, this just solidifies that we're no longer the old style of college football. We're the NFL JV. Or another phrase people throw out there is like, oh yeah, we're the minor leagues for the NFL. I would love to talk about that some more, but we gotta move on to the main topic, the main encore, the main reason you clicked onto this video. You gotta check this out. There is a new project in college football being talked about, and it is being labeled as quote-unquote Project Rudy, and it is supposed to be a super league. Of course, this Super League is going to involve no other than the SEC and Big Ten, because right now those are the top two conferences. This is some interesting stuff. A Super League concept being called, quote-unquote, Project Rudy has emerged ahead of athletic directors from the SEC and Big Ten meeting to discuss the future of the sport. per a report by Ross Dellinger, who is a reliable source. Project Rudy is superheaded. I have never seen that word in my life, superheaded, by former Disney executives turned investment professionals. So that's interesting. Do we really want college football and Disney to get involved with one another? I don't know. But continuing along after professionals, it's what might be called a super league and would have a 70-team structure incorporating football programs from the from the 4 power conferences. In doing so, the model would preserve those 4 conferences, expand the postseason, overhaul scheduling, add tiers in revenue distribution, and infuse $9 billion in private capital into the system. $9 billion! Whew! Man, oh man, that is a lot to take in just right there alone. But continuing along, there's more. This isn't some wild idea that's being talked about by like a couple investors. There's already been more than 25 athletic directors that have been listening to this and actually entertaining the idea. 25 ADs. I'm going to show it to you right here word for word. Over the last 4 months, more than 25 athletic directors from the power conferences were given a presentation on Project Rudy. Conference commissioners from the SEC, Big 12, and ACC had details from the model shared with them directly by the architects of the model. On top of that, former Notre Dame athletic director Jack Swarbrick recently joined the team for Project Rudy. Quote unquote, "Of all the ideas I've seen, this one makes the most sense," said Miami athletic director Dan, I don't even know how to say his last name, not even going to try, who has seen the presentation. Conferences are still intact, commissioners still have an important and valuable role, and there's the ability for schools to make increased money from bigger matchups and more playoff games. Project Rudy would make extensive changes. That includes eliminating games between power conference programs and Group of 5 and FCS opponents. What about that? I think I speak for everybody when I say that. I'm a fan of it. And you know why I'm a fan of it? Go take a look at Ohio State's schedule. For that reason right there. Ohio State is halfway through the season and they ain't played nobody. Continuing along after opponents, it would also consolidate media rights between the power conferences instead of having different agreements. Growth is expected to come from having 1.5 more marquee games per season. With that, Smash Capital says school-by-school distributions would skyrocket. And I think they're right. Because by not playing these cupcakes like Mercer, the Citadel, all these FCS schools and non-Power 5 teams, by not playing those, it entices your casual fans to watch more of these games. Let me ask you a question, even not as a casual fan, as a diehard fan that you are. Were you inclined to watch Akron versus Ohio State or Marshall versus Ohio State? No! And I get it, it's good for those schools, Akron and Marshall, but it's not good when it comes to making money for the game. So there's that. There's a legitimate and serious conversation going on about a new 70-school football league. And guess what? Somebody on Twitter, thankfully, I don't know who made this, but shout out to you, they made a graphic of what this new 70-school football league will look like. Your schedule will look like this. You play 9 division mates, 3 against other 6 divisions, based on last year's finish like NFL. 16-team CFP, nobody's going to be opposed to that. That's fine. Division winner auto bid, and that's fine as well. But here's your map. And remember, you got 70 teams, and in this theory, you're going to have 7 divisions with 10 teams per division, which equates to 70. And just looking at this is a different video for a different day. It is a lot to take in. You got 10 divisions, but here's my favorite part about all of this. We're just eliminating the cupcake games. And granted, some of these teams are going to suck, but it's not like playing Akron and Marshall to start the season. And another reason I'm not opposed to this, not to the slightest, and I kind of like it and I'm in favor of it, if it were to happen, is because it just brings back teams playing teams from the same region and area. Your West Coast teams are going to play West Coast teams. Your Southeastern teams are going to play Southeastern teams. You get the point. For example, California and Miami was a conference matchup in game. Think about that. California and Miami. They're on 2 different sides of the planet. But look at the division with Alabama, Georgia, and the Florida teams. That'd be some exciting games, and I would say in this little map here, Clemson would kind of get off the hook because look who they're playing. Wake Forest, Duke, North Kakalaki, Syracuse, Rutgers, and just not very stiff competition compared to that Alabama and Florida region. Before we go any farther, let me make this extremely clear. Let me make this astronomically clear. Is this going to happen anytime soon? Heck to the no. As where it stands right now, there's just talks of this happening. And also, if you want my 2 cents on it, I actually like how we are now compared to this map I'm showing you right here. I know what you're sitting there saying, well, Matt, you said you didn't hate it and you'd kind of like it. I'm saying if we were to go to this 17 format, I wouldn't be opposed to these teams in this division and how this map's laid out. But if I had to pick between a 70-team power league and what we have now, I'm sticking with what we got now. Here's the last question we're going to address before we end up the video, because I know some of you may be sitting here saying, well, Matt, you said it's not going to happen anytime soon, but Is there a chance of this happening in the future? Like, is there a 1% chance, 50% chance? What do you think? In situations like this, you got to go off of what you know to form your best educated guess as possible. This isn't like some random investor just woke up today and said, you know what? I'm wondering if I can start a new 70-team college football league. No. It's already past that point. This quote-unquote project already has a name, and it's called Project Rudy, and he has pitched this idea to more than 25 athletic directors all across the country. It doesn't mean those athletic directors like it, but the fact they're even willing to have a meeting with them should tell you how far this has already gotten. And I know exactly what you're sitting there thinking right now, just like off of the movie Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance, and yes, I am. If these investors and whoever are already talking with athletic directors, there's got to be somewhat of a chance. I'd give it like as where it stands right now with the information we possess, a 5% chance of happening and coming to fruition. I feel like that's being generous. It should probably be more so of around 2 or 3, but hey, we also didn't think Vanderbilt was going to beat Alabama. So what I'm saying is we've seen weirder things happen in this sport. All in all, though, it's not a bad idea. It's just, number one, it's a crazy concept. And number two, it is a lot. And I mean a lot to take in. I mean, guys, we're talking about a 70-team Super League. Do as you please with this information. I just report on the news. I am curious, though. Let me know your thoughts down below about that.